Hey YouTubers, Grimmy here, and this is the video review for the Transformers Generations Deluxe Class Jhiaxus. Finally, Jhiaxus is getting his second figure ever. The first one being the Universe 1.0 repaint of Jetstorm from Beast Machines. And this time it's going to be a repaint of the Armada Starscream that came out earlier in this very line. But this one actually has a better head, which is closer to his appearances in G2 and his appearances in IDW. So it might be a little bit of a better figure. Now, naturally, being one of the IDW series figures, he includes a comic book, which shows another part of Dark Cybertron, which he is in, although for the most of it he's using a different body, except for one of the final pieces where he transforms himself into this somewhat of a retooling of Starscream to fight Starscream. Yeah. I think Starscream put it as cosplaying as him. But anyway, Jhiaxus is a nice little orange jet, which is actually invokes the Universe 2.0 figure, or not 2.0, the 1.0, I'm sorry. The original Transformers Universe figures. Or Jhiaxus was also painted into orange with gray, for whatever reason. Since that version of Jhiaxus has been pretty popular in the Transformers Collector Club comics, being used a lot for the Machine Wars and for that free one that was put on the Transformers Club site recently. Which is pretty good, so this is a nice time to release Jhiaxus. Now the jet mode is nice looking. Pretty much a heavy retool of Starscream. So you got the thrusters on the top, this time done in shades of gray. And like before, the metal part likes to come out on its own when it's tilted down a little bit. But they are the same pressure release missiles, and they do fire pretty well. So there is that. He also has some guns on the wings, which is a nice touch. Yeah, it's good to see them having guns. And, you know, other than that, yeah, pretty much the same. You got the undercarriage that you can see where the arms are. You can kind of see the feet. But other than that, it's a pretty solid looking jet. For a comparison, we'll bring in Armada Starscream. You can see there are quite a bit of differences between the two molds. Well, between the two figures at least. The wings are different. The nose cones are different. The chest bits are different. At least the top bits of the chest. Probably the bottom bit too. Think about it. Oh no, the bottom bit's the same. Okay, I was wrong. But the legs are different. Like, well, what will be the legs are different. I mean, so there is plenty of retooling, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't have the original Jhiaxus figure, so I can't really do a comparison with that one. But yeah, all in all, I do like this figure. Oh, and I don't have the Jhiaxus, but I just realized I do happen to have the Universe Skywarp, which was of the same mold. So you can actually see how those two pair up to each other. Although, try to imagine Skywarp here in orange and silver. But yeah, I mean, the original toy had a, well, not exactly original toy, it was originally Jetstorm, but there are differences between that one and this one. But anyway, enough about the jet mode. I think it's time we got him into robot mode and see how he looks there. And now that we got Jhiaxus in his robot mode, he has a really different look to him. Now the orange color scheme does work well for the figure. People are going to be a little iffy on the color scheme for the character, since the G2 comics had him kind of listed as a yellow and red and white and pretty much a mess of colors. But the more standardized orange and silver seem to work for him pretty well. The body sculpt, you could tell there's a lot of different parts from Starscream, although there are plenty of shared parts as well. The arms are pretty much entirely shared with Starscream. The thighs, those old jet boosters on the back, and those are shared parts. The rest seems to be new tooling, though. To really help bring that out, so I'm going to bring in Armada Starscream yet again. And yeah, you can tell there's plenty of differences, but there are a few similarities. Mostly, like I said, in the arms and the sculpted thighs and those thrusters, which I'm keeping in different positions for different figures. But yeah, there are plenty of differences between them. What's really interesting, though, is that Jhiaxus' own entire chest is sculpted different than Starscream's, jet cockpit and all, which was really a nice touch. I mean, they went all out to retool this guy, and I appreciate that. I mean, they didn't just put new wings and a new head on it and call it a new figure. So the effort is most appreciated and really does bring out a different feel to him. Another difference is the weapons. Instead of 2 swords, Jhiaxus actually gets handguns, which works. Kind of wish they included the swords anyway, since he did use them against Starscream in the comics. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty cool that he's got the guns instead of the swords. The head sculpt is actually really well done. Very reminiscent of his G2 comic appearance. And also does a good job of bringing out the IDW appearances too, because he uses a similar head. But yeah, it's a really well done figure. Now articulation is going to be the same as Starscream. You got the ball jointed head, which is really tight. You got forward backward on the shoulders, in and out like that. Bicep swivels, elbow bends, in and out like this at the wrists. No waist, but you got ball jointed hips, thigh swivel, and a nice deep knee bend thanks to the way the transformation works. And you also got forward-backward toe movement. So you can get plenty of nice poses with him. Of course, his hips seem to be a little bit on the loose side. So yeah, you gotta watch out for that. But all in all, I'd say Jhiaxus is a really good figure. Starscream turned out pretty well too. It's hard to say which one I like best. I mean, both of these are really good molds. And it'll be interesting to see if Takara does anything with the Jhiaxus mold. They might even go for a more G2 accurate color scheme, which would be nice. But yeah, if you're a fan of Jhiaxus in the comics, if you like the Collector Club comics and don't feel like you could afford to get the Universe 1.0, which reminds me, here's another comparison with that mold that the previous Jhiaxus was from. And as you can see, it's a little bigger, but ultimately not as good looking as his new mold. So this might be a better fill-in for that Collector Club Wings Universe Jhiaxus than the mold they chose to use for it. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little review, and I will see you next time. So take care, have fun, and bye-bye.